Hello everybody, DXUN here. This is going to be my second video for World of Warcraft. Just to give you an idea, I play quite a bit. I actually raid. I don't quite PvP right now, but I will PvP in the next expansion in Legion because of the changes they're making. I think it's going to make a whole lot of difference for a whole lot of people, especially those that PvE a lot. It's going to allow us to not be completely horrible when we go to PvP. So I think that's gonna help a lot of us actually want to get involved in that side of the game, which is obviously a pretty big side. But again, uh, time consuming on the PvE side doesn't allow you as much to get the other side done. So we're going to be talking today about obviously all the announcements that were done on day one of Blizzcon 2015. And the first one was the movie. I picked this shot because I just I just like that wolf. I don't know what it is. It just looks freaking amazing. I like the orcs look really good as well. It just seems like it's gonna be something special. It's done by Legendary, which is a really good company that makes good movies. So I'm expecting big things. Initially, I wasn't. Initially, I was just thinking, oh, this is just gonna be like a disaster and basically just looking still, hoping for something that would be good. But I think right now, with the way this is set up and all that, they really took the time, and in true Blizzard fashion, really, they are pulling all the stops and making sure that it's represented very well. So good job so far, and hopefully another trailer until the release, because I feel like it could have been a bit more. We didn't really see who the bad guy was that they're going to be facing. Okay, so next one was the cinematic. The cinematic was, I thought it was pretty epic, and to say that after over 10 years of WoW, I guess we never get tired, and there's all we never think that they're going to be topped off, but somehow this one made it in my top 3 favorites of all time for WoW. And what I like about this one is it almost it brings that feeling of family, of familiarity, that that you've been knowing each other for so long, and that I think there might be something coming up as far as that's concerned, like the way the drama unfolded with Valerian going in the water, and you so for a moment thinking, is he actually dead and all that. I think that it brings the question, maybe there will be some characters that won't make it out of this one, as this seems to be again like a major invasion, and if there's nothing that happens, I think it would feel kind of dumb to a certain point, like if it's going to be a major task that we have to undertake. And actually, I guess the other message that they were trying to convey to is that all ends are on deck. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your status in the world. If the king is actually out there fighting with everybody else, then obviously they need everybody. But again, I think there's going to be some major characters that will not make it out of that, and I think it's especially on the Alliance side, it's definitely needed. The Horde has seen a few here and there, but we haven't really seen too many characters die on the Alliance side. And again, it doesn't take anything away from WoW. All it does is it actually allow for them to bring new characters on board, recreate something different. Also, Sylvanas, which I think seeing Sylvanas here basically leads us to think that she's going to be a major factor in the next expansion after Legion. You kind of have to bring the next person that you're going to really focus on, I think, an expansion at least early. She wasn't there at all in the last one, and in Cataclysm, actually, for that matter. She was really there. The last time was in Wrath of the Lich King. So I mean, it's going to be really good to see her again, and then there's going to be the sisters there as well. So maybe some interactions there leading us into maybe what could be an expansion with the Scourge and Sylvanas. So So honestly, maybe this expansion might not be the greatest, although it looks, again, it looks like they're putting a lot of effort into it, and um, I think they're Ian and the boys there. They're really pushing hard, and I think they're gonna make this something special. Uh, I I like that they actually are learning from the mistakes from Draenor warlords of Draenor, and they're not like making the same thing all over again. Yes, it might take until September, and I guess we'll cover that later. But again, it doesn't change the fact that they are really trying hard to fix the shortcomings of Draenor, which there was some obviously. But again, uh, if you don't try, then nothing happens, right? So again, really good cinematic, and I'm expecting some people to die on the battlefield. Okay, the next one. Let's see. I think it's in really in order. There you go. They also announced the pre-order. Like as soon as the day started, they announced that, and basically went on the electronic. I had the electronic ticket for the virtual electronic ticket for Blizzcon, and watched the all the panels, all that stuff. There's a lot of information going on, and obviously they announced that. So I went and pre-purchased mine for one of my accounts. I have three, but again, my main account purchased it, and you get right away. You get the two pets and the mount. The second pet is Mercadan, and you only get it, or I only received it once I actually selected my level 100. Once I picked one, for me I made a second monk. Once I made my second monk, then Mercadan came up. So two pets and a mount. I think it's a pretty good deal. Again, some people from, I guess I cover SWTOR a lot as well. SWTOR, some people were kind of complaining because they had to pay $60 for the expansion when theirs was free. But this is a fully fleshed out expansion, has everything. Like they already said 10 dungeons, for Christ's sakes, plus two, and they're new, plus two. Some people would argue, I guess, 9, because Violet Hole might be a remake of something they've already done. But again, I think it's going to be still different anyway. So again, 10 new dungeons, 2 raids, 1/7 boss and 1/10 at least that we know now. There's probably going to be another one later down, which is usually what they do. And all they say here is before the 21st of September. So they expect a lot of time to get everything rolling. And I'm saying that because Ian said basically they're going to go back to home, and then they're going to sleep, and then after that they're going to start thinking about all the stuff they need to do to bring the beta servers online, and then the beta should start, I guess, within December-ish time frame. If you look at that, I mean, I don't think it's going to take them over a month to set up servers. It's not their first kick at the cat, so I expect that to be pretty quickly. So then again, I don't know how it could take that long, but again, it's probably just a safe bet. We're gonna say before 21st September, just to be sure. Also, the other thing is we have to consider is there's a massive amount of things that are put into this expansion, and it does take a lot of time to put it all together. So maybe September is not so far as for that. Anyways, we're gonna cover some of those concepts and things that they've been working on, and you'll see that there's definitely some work that they've put in this expansion for sure. Also, I forgot to say, for the new level 100 that you get with the level boost, I picked the level, created a level 1, boosted them to a level 100, and you get a level 2 garrison. You get also a level 2 barracks, so you can get actually somebody else to come with you on your stuff. Vivian is already actually it was a horde character, so Vivian, or if you prefer Delvar on the Alliance side, is already one of your followers. You have I think it was about 10 or 8 followers already, and then you also have, I already mentioned the barracks level 2. That's right. So So yeah, it's not a bad way to start a level 100. That's what I'm trying to say here. So, and you also start with eye levels 640 gear on top of that. So if you already have a ton of 650 gear stuff by on account like I do, you can send all that stuff to them, and then they can use that and at least get another 10 eye level or so overall. So again, pretty good purchase for what they're gonna bring with this expansion. Okay, so let's see the next one. Oh, those are some of the dungeons. I didn't pick all of them. I picked some of the ones that I actually thought were looking really awesome. Blackrock Hold, which seems to be like to me it looks like a worgen slash vampire team. They didn't say what they said, but this looks like where worgens would hang out in like some underground place. And then let's see, where's the other one? Right here. Actually, no, it's not it. This one. There you go. This one looks more. Actually, this one wasn't as good for vampires. This one looks more like a haunted house with the spider web and all that stuff. But the other ones, the other shots they had looked more like vampire theme. I really like either concept. So Blackrock Hold should be a pretty good one for me. My favorite one was probably this one, and this is probably not. Again, I didn't pick the best shots, but the Helheim, like the shot they had there with the lamps and everything moving on board the ship looked freaking spoofy. Like I really liked the. Maybe it's because I'm in the Navy or something. I don't know. I just really enjoyed that one. I thought it looked phenomenal. I guess we can go to dungeons next. Dungeons. So this is one of the screens that Ian showed, and to try to explain his new philosophy for dungeon challenges and stuff, and I love it. I think it's a phenomenal idea. You know, it's fun. It's weird. This expansion seems like that expansion that's about all these things that we all didn't like, but wish we could find new ways or reinvent it, ourselves and find a way to make it better. And that was one of them where I didn't like the dungeon challenge stuff before. Although I like being challenged, I didn't feel it was doing that. It was more like a race against time. And here, yes, there is some of that, but not necessarily at first. Like, as you can see the card there at the top, it says level 13. So that little thing that you're going to have in your inventory that's going to reset itself once you actually fail a challenge, it can go up at least 13 challenges. And we showed this icon raging, which basically makes all the mobs enrage at 30% health or below, so you don't want to AoE everything. And then it has 3 other things that we don't know. Does it reduce your damage 75%? I don't know. Or does it add 75%? I don't know. Like or does it add mobs 75% for something? I don't know. It looks like there's a lot of things that to be said about that. But again, I like that there's going to be several different levels of it, so you can actually test yourself and see how far you can go. And some people won't be able to just make shit up and somehow manage to get up there. Like, you're gonna have to be legit good or be carried, but at some point you won't be able to be carried, I'm assuming. So getting carried here is not gonna work very long. It's gonna work at the beginning, but not after a while. So those people that just cannot hack it into these you just won't see them. Or if you don't have the gear, you can have all the talent in the world and think you can do it, but if you don't have the damage or the healing or whatever is needed because of your gear, then you won't be there either. So I like that it's going to allow that. And also I like that it starts lower level. Like Ian said, it starts at heroic level, so anybody can do an heroic or just about. So it's not going to start too high a level. And you can just see how far you can make get it to go. And I like that it can almost basically replace raiding. And also, like I said, that those here look like a lot of the different challenges, like the dots sticking on everybody the whole time, man. That's crazy. Your healer better be on the ball because you're gonna drop like you know crazy. But again, I really enjoy. I think it's a really good idea, and it puts a focus back on dungeons for sure. And their dungeons, the ones I saw, look really good. So I didn't even show Hall of Valor's. Hall of Valor look amazing as well. So again, like this really good idea, and I don't think this one is going to be a bad one. I think this one is. I mean, obviously they could do something wrong, but I just don't see it. I think this is going to work really well. The only thing I could see maybe not work is eventually their rewards cap at a certain point because you just can't get anything better than whatever gear level they put in there. But they might actually go all the way all out and give you the same eye level as the raids. It's just you're gonna have to do a one heck of a tough dungeon, So I guess we'll see. But well, other than the loot, eye level stuff, I think this is a really good thing. Okay, so let's check the next one. Leveling, obviously that's my big one because I am an altaholic. I have so many characters that it's ridiculous. But again, this one initially I was like, fuck yeah, great idea and all that. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I'm not sure anymore. Especially after Drown War, I'm used to we're all used to, well, most of us are used anyway, to have our followers with us and all that, and they work really great. They help a lot, especially on those classes that don't have like a tank pet kind of thing. Really was helpful to but again, here you won't have that. So, and then what I don't like specifically is, like, people are saying like there's no order, but there will be an order. People will figure out where the weapons are given from the dungeons, because that's probably going to be from those. And because you're going to have to go through dungeons, which you mentioned, now everybody's going to start with those the ones that have the weapons. So if let's say the weapons were in Helheim, then everybody would go to, I believe it's in Stormheim. They would go to Stormheim just because they want to get the weapon right away. It makes sense, right? You want to get the, well, actually, in this case, I'm going to withdraw that because there won't be any weapons. The weapons will be the legendary, so that you won't have any weapons at all. So that withdraw that. I guess Trinket would be the next one, but it's not as big as the weapons, especially for melee. So that removes that, but it still leaves that one thing for me, which is you're always going to stay within, I guess, a level or two from your opponents. And what I liked before in Draenor is that I would stay in Fire Ridge the whole time. Just stay the whole time there, get 3 to 4 levels out of it. And then after that, I would just like pick and choose which one I wanted to do afterwards as far as the rest of the maps. So I didn't have to necessarily respect the order of things. Still, yet I was actually quite a bit ahead of the levels around me. So, but again, depending on the class, some classes I would just bash through everything. Didn't matter if I was a level above or below them or whatever. But certain classes I really enjoyed to have like the 3 or 4 levels ahead of them, because that helped me, I guess, make it a little bit easier. But here you won't have that. That's one thing to keep in mind. You will not see that at all. All you're going to see is, the same kind of whatever they set the bar at, which is probably going to be the same level and 1 level above. And again, it should still be doable. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's going to be a little bit annoying, especially if you have a lot of alts and you don't necessarily master any of them. Then you're going to have to actually do that a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more of working on your skills and rotation, because if you don't, you're probably going to be drinking all the time, and that's going to slow down your leveling time and all that stuff. So I'm plugging for alts. If you have a main, it should be easy. You should have enough gear to start anyway, and then it should be a breeze. But if it's a character you don't necessarily know on top of you're not on top of your game for that specific character, that's definitely going to be something to think about, because again, the world around you will level appropriately so that you can do any of those, any order. But again, the good point is you don't, if for an alcoholic as well, especially an alcoholic, after you've done a map once, you get, it's kind of getting a little tired. Well, not once, but let's say 2-3 times, I guess. It starts to get a little bit annoying, like it's just repetitive and all that. So now that way, it allows you to actually go through all 5 zones pretty much the same amount, or to figure out which one is your favorite ones, because there's always a zone that usually you just don't like. Not that it doesn't look good, but it just is not easy to level in. So you're gonna try to avoid those zones, right? Like I was leveling not too long ago in Pandaria in Jade Forest, and I hate Jade Forest like the plague, because it just has 15 billion freaking cinematics, or like they're not really cinematics, but anyways, they stop everything. You have to watch it, and you cannot get out of it. So and it just takes a little of time, and it's the whole thing with that monkey there, and yeah. So basically, that's all these quests. Anyways, it takes forever. If you have something like that, usually as an alcoholic, you don't really care about the story anymore. You've seen it a bazillion times. At a certain point, you just don't care. So you just want to get through it as fast as possible, and that's good for that. But again, remember that it's gonna still keep everything within same level, more than likely, or a level higher than you. So that's enough for that. Let's see, what else? Do I have anything else? Thought I did. Let me check. I think I forgot a screenshot. Oh, right here. Nope. It's not the one. Yeah, give me a second, I guess. It'll take long. There you go. That's the one I forgot. A very important one, nonetheless. So can't skip that. So here's the map that again Ian showed us to try to alleviate on the dailies, and I think it's almost impossible to do that. I like what they're trying to do, though. I like that they're trying to give you more options to try different things and see which ones you prefer, to still get to the end of the day to complete something that's going to be more like a 2 to 3 days kind of quest. So as you can see at the bottom, 8 of the Night Fallen. So you can see that there's 1 check mark for one successfully completed quest, and then there's 4 more that you need to do to receive the chest that we've seen before, which gives you some loot, some epic loot. So I like that. I think it's a little bit better, especially if you have more time. The only thing I'm worried is that if for a guy that plays every day, are you gonna get like more and more and more of those quests, and you're just gonna keep going, or is it gonna stop completely and you're gonna have to do something else? That's what I wonder. It's not necessarily a bad thing, because it just makes you go on another character and do some more of those things. It can actually help out, if you will, other characters. But for a person that's just oriented on one single character, which there are some, and they just do everything with that one character, they're probably gonna find this really boring if they have nothing to do other than just. You might have some quests still left after, like, let's say the reset for the week. Let's say you complete that quest, then are you getting any other quest quicker or not? Because they seem to say that you're not, because if you do, then it basically is still the same system again, where you don't want to miss any windows. Sure, the window is bigger, i.e. like 2 to 3 days instead of like dailies, but again, nonetheless, it it would still be the same problem. Where if you missed those if you didn't do it in those 2-3 days, you're behind now because the guy has done it and now he's doing the next one, kind of thing. But hopefully it's not the case, and yeah. But again, there's still a lot of things to do with that system, and it's also affecting weapon power. And this is just a if you look at the top there, it says Summoners in the Shadows, and at the very bottom, completing this objective will reward you with 250 artifact power. And if everything in there gives you artifact power, and you just keep getting more quests, even if you don't get the big one that gives you the chest. I don't care about the big one, the chest. If I can upgrade my power to my weapon, I will do that like in a heartbeat, and you will get ahead of people that just can't do it. So again, I have to test it and see it to actually confirm all that stuff. But this, to me, does not. It looks like there's going to be some holes in it. If it doesn't, if it's solid, then that's great, because again, it does kind of give you an idea that's pretty good, but you have to follow through with every aspect of it and make it interesting for a person that just plays one character, as much as for someone that plays multiple characters, as much as someone that just doesn't play as much to someone that plays a ton. So it's not that easy. There's a reason why it's taken years, and it's still, no one has really seemed to figure out the best way to do this. So again, hopefully a good concept. Here we go. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I know that was a fairly long one, but again, there's so much stuff that I didn't even cover half of it. I could have covered more on the artifact weapons and all that, or artifact forms for the druid. But again, way more stuff coming through. This is only day one of Blizzcon. Today, this morning, I guess. In a few hours, we'll see some more stuff from them, and hopefully some better things. Again, thanks for watching, and you can also follow me at DXUN54 on Twitch as well. DXUN54, but in all in letters. That's on YouTube. And again, thanks for watching. See you guys later.